What's going on, guys? On the last video we worked on getting the shifter in for the transmission. Got that all done. Got the linkage and everything. Still need to take care of wiring over there underneath the dash. But in this video we're going to work on getting the transcooler lines and everything ran. Get that taken care of. Got some parts in yesterday, some fittings of everything we need, and we'll get the job done. This guy right here is going to be for the sensor. I am not 100% sure that it's going to work for the sensor or not. I don't know how long the end is, but we'll see once that sensor comes. Got some 90s here for the transmission. Those should work fine. I put a 90 on it yesterday. Worked okay. Here's the momentary switch for the handle I mentioned. It's gonna go right here. I'm probably gonna use one for trans brake, and one for maybe lock the converter or fourth gear. That's a lot. Show you what we got working with. Oh yeah, I still need to take care of that. Alright, so there's our two fittings right there. They're both 6N. Like I said, we're gonna put a 90 on it, the 90-degree fitting on it. And you can see there's where the lines come up to, so I don't need a whole lot to add. We're just gonna run right into those. I'm not gonna make a whole new line or anything. We're just gonna run into those. I need to look up, see which one's in, which one's out. So, because we want to run them correctly to the cooler, get the maximum cooling we can out of them. Right there is our plug when you plug in, still and wire up. So yeah, we need to figure out which line goes where, and we'll start. Well, I guess I can start making lines, and they're all the same length anyway. But we'll see where's our ins and outs at. All right, so got the lines made for the trans cooler, or from the transmission to the trans cooler. So this is the 6N line here. This is actually going, this is from the output of the transmission going to the cooler. And this is the, this goes into the input input side of the transmission. See, I put a stepper here. It's an 8N to a 6. And here's going to be where I'm going to put my coolant sensor. And it connects back into the line, and it goes into the transmission. So we'll see our trans temp before it goes right in, the fluid before it goes right into the transmission. So I already cleaned these out with the air compressor, both of them. So we are ready to get these put in and get those lines all situated, and we can call this part done until we get the sensor. That should be coming today. I am not 100% sure that sensor's going to work. I might have to put an adapter on it, but we won't know until the sensor comes. We'll put it in and see how it fits. If it doesn't work, like I said, we'll put an adapter on it. We'll make it work. Alright guys, so got the lines in. So you got the lines in here. Kind of got sort of zip tied out of the way. and there will be where the sensor would go. I got the sensor, I haven't tried it yet, but we may have to put an adapter on it. Well, way of looking. So still need to fit that. Lines are in, got everything nice and tight. Next I'm working on is getting these wires here. These is what going to control the that's all it's going to be controlling the transmission, as this is a manual valve body in it. One's for like trans brake, and the other one's for like locking the converter, and I forgot what the other one is. But like I said, there's only 3 wires that's going into the transmission, so we're working on getting that now. I already had a hole here. I had like a little boot, or kind of like a little bush, you want to call it, right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run my wires through here, and it's gonna go in. It's gonna be in a protective sleeve. It's basically gonna go straight across, and we'll seal that back up once we get our wires ran. I don't know if I'll show y'all guys now, but let me get my light here. Got the fuel lines in. Look at there. I even got the tank in. I think I made a video on the fuel, or on the fuel, putting the fuel setup in, but I think I was using my phone to record it, but for some reason my files were corrupted or whatnot. Wasn't letting me edit them. It was giving me issues. So we're actually on a new camera. If you haven't noticed, there's a different video quality and audio quality. We have a new camera, so hopefully it works out good. But you can see everything is starting to come together. Got our shifter line all taken care of. Got one little zip tie on it. Don't pay attention to the transmission oil that's right here. It's off the line, so I had it ran across. Oh yeah, if you can see it or not, got the wire from the the fan for the transmission. It's all wired up to the sensor, the little red wire there. I'll show you where I got that going. Oh, let me just get up. Gotta get me a lift. Getting too old for this. Alright, so, well, my light stopped working. Don't buy these cheap ass great value bulbs. Look at it, basically just broke right off. Huh. But anyways, hell, y'all can't see it, so let me get their bulb. Huh. We're back in business. See how long this bulb lasts. These are the great value LED bulbs. I can tell you right now, they're just utter junk. I replaced the one on my bench like 3 times in the last, I don't know, month. So where we left off. So on the trans cooler fan, got the blue wire here. Got run across, and got going down this hole right here. Comes out, and so on, and to the cooler. So got that done, and you can see I got the tank in. Got it all cleaned up. It's all wired up. I already had it all wired up. I guess I was showing that if I had the footage for it, but show you what I got going on here. So I'm running a Stinger 80 amp relay for two pumps, and on the third pump I just have it on just a little 30 amp relay. I got it all ground up nice and good here, right on the bottom. Got a big old bolt sanded down the bare metal on both sides, lock washer and everything. It ain't going nowhere. Got on a 40 amp fuse for all three pumps. Worked just fine. This is basically the same setup I had on the hatch, except for I'm running two pumps off on an 80 amp relay. Third pump, this wire right here is actually a ground wire. It's going straight to the ECU, so the third fuel pump won't kick on till, you know, wherever I set it at, say 5 pounds. It won't kick on till then. You probably wonder why there's a hole here. Well, the car originally already had a hole in it. They had a fuel cell in it and everything. I just made it a little bit bigger, because I think on the hatch I had to massage quite a bit of it to make this tank fit. You can see the hat sticks up quite a bit, so I just made it bigger anyway. Just if I need to access my pumps, I can just, you know, open the trunk and bam, there's my fuel. I just take the, you know, the 6 bolts off and take the hat off and have access to my fuel pumps. So I ain't worried about that. This is all gonna be covered up anyway. Gonna get all this wiring all situated. Basically, I haven't done anything yet. I just got basically everything just wired up. Everything's gonna be wrapped up in this loom right here. Pretty good stuff. Tail lights are on, looking really good. These came off the white hatch, so that's another piece of the white hatch onto the coupe. What else? Oh yeah, I think I also made a video on the shifter, and that was part of the videos I was having an issue with as well. Let me grab my light here, because everything looks dark on the camera. So that's the shifter. I mean, I also got majority of the wiring, well, except for over there. We'll talk about that in a second. But I got the shifter in. You can see I got 2 buttons. It doesn't come with a shifter. It's something you have to buy separate. So I got 2 momentary switches. I put on the shifter, the band, what I want to assign them to. I need 3 buttons. One's for trans brake, one for locking the converter, and oh yeah, the third one's for engaging 4th gear. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably have trans brake, 4th gear, and have the converter like on another switch. I'll have next to it somewhere. So yeah, the shifter's in, just bolted in. I was going to use the rib nuts for this, but the hardware I have here is standard, and the rib nuts I have are metric. And yeah, let's just say I didn't use them. I just basically just bolted in. Works fine. They got lock nuts underneath them, and it ain't going nowhere. But see, I'm building a wiring harness now for 40 switches for the trans. I'm just gonna run down that hole I just showed you. You can see it right by that plate. Get that done. Hopefully tonight. Had a buddy from the Fox group hook me up with a bracket here. This is for the you know, the console where the back part rests on, and for some reason whoever had the car before me decided to take it out, so we're going to have to put that in. It's basically held on with 3 rivets, you know, 1 here, 2 in the back, so we'll have to cut out our little section of carpet here. We'll put it in. I got some rivets, we'll rivet it in. What else? I think that's it. Oh, one more thing. I don't think we need light for that. Working on the radiator lines. I actually made some last night. Made the bottom one. Bottom one actually fits pretty good. You can see I got A in line on the fuel pump or the water pump here, and Jay welded them up for me. He also welded me up one for the thermostat housing. So I built a line last night, and I was kind of making it fit. I think I made it too short. My original plan was have it come out, loop around, and go right in, because I'm reusing some of the fittings I already had, because these fittings aren't exactly cheap. They're like 26, 30 bucks a piece for the cheap ones. So I didn't think what I did is I just made this line too short. So I ordered a 3-foot piece, and it should work perfectly for what I need. I already measured it out. It's about 2.5 feet, almost 3 feet. So 3-foot section should be perfect for what I need. That should be here Monday. Hopefully, it's gonna be Christmas week. Who knows? What else? I think that's it. Let me get some V bands, here and there, but I'm not gonna worry about that as of yet. I want to take care of the radiator. Oh yeah, I gotta go get a gasket for the thermostat housing, which is part store. Get that part store. Just make sure we go over some. Make sure everything's nice and tight. I got some things here, like some wiring is still loose, but I'll get that taken care of, because we still gotta finish the wiring for the fans. I want to get these lines situated first, then we'll get the put the contour fans on. We'll get those mounted, and we'll run the wiring. I got wiring for that already. Got the plugs and everything plugged right into the fans. It's gonna look a lot cleaner than I had on the hatch. That is for sure. Still need to take care of the brake situation. I haven't primed it or anything, or bled the brakes, I should say. I made a mistake. I should have bled the master cylinder before I put it on. But it is what it is. What we need to do is to take these lines off and basically run them into the pump here or wherever. We just need to bleed it, then put the lines back on. It'd be simple to do. Shoot, I think that's it. I think I'm out of breath just doing a video here. But I think tonight I'm off tackle getting this wiring situated, get it ran, and oh yeah, that white wire you see there is actually for the 2-step. So I need to look in the Holley software, because my trans brake actually uses positive power to engage instead of having to use a ground. So we're going to have I need to look in the software real quick. I'm pretty sure I can use 12 volt on that. It's input, so we'll have to look on that.